Thank you very much for everyone here, distinguished guests and advisors, domestic and international advisors, and all participants that made this symposium possible. Okay, I think, yeah, the pointer works. So I will go over quickly where we are after a little more than 3 years of investigation. So we have 10 moonshot goals, and we are number 8. So we aim to control and modify the severe weather. And the risk for the severe weather damage is increasing because of the climate change. And we have more hazard happening. And so far, we try to control the exposure or the vulnerability to reduce the risk. But this program aims to mitigate this hazard itself. Hazard is increasing because of the climate change, but we would like to do something with that. So some projects investigated what will be the expected impact of, for example, reducing the peak precipitation by 10%. Kotsuki project investigated the economic value of reducing only by 10%, but it may be difficult to do 10%. But if we could reduce the peak precipitation by 10%, the damage, the loss will be reduced quite significantly. Or Fudeyasu project investigated the typhoon, and if we could reduce the wind speed of the typhoon by 5%, then we could reduce the economic damage by half. So it's quite significant. So that's an estimation. And however, the question is if we can really change the weather in a significant way by the human power. Our human power is much, much smaller compared with the weather, particularly this significant weather. But a good point is that this significant weather is hard to predict, but that means it's more chaotic, so that small change can lead to a big difference. But the question is if we can really, that's why the prediction is difficult. If we can really control the system, the chaotic system, beyond the predictability limit. So that's a question. And also, even if you have a technology, it's a questionable if this technology can be applied in the real life, if people can accept this kind of technology. That's the issue of the ethical, legal, and social issues, and yeah, and responsible research and innovation. So before this program started, I did my own research using this simple model to study the theoretical question if we really can modify or control the chaotic dynamical system. And that contributed, and I understand that contributed to establish this government program as Moonshot Goal8. And I had time this year to do further theoretical research by myself, separate from this Moonshot program, because I'm a program director. I cannot do my own research under this program. But I spend more time not as a program director, but independent researcher. So I did my own research to advance this theory of the control and data assimilation. And very recently it was accepted and in press. So I found this, I proposed this duality principle so that theory says that we can control the weather or the chaotic dynamical system beyond the predictability limit, just as the data assimilation works. So if you are interested, it's available, and I can share with you. So at this moment, we aim at 2050, and we are now in 2025. So we completed a little more than 3 years of research, and we aim 2050 to make this society with weather control. And to achieve this goal, we need to do the large-scale field experiments in 2040s, and 2030s, we need to do the small-scale experiments. So that was the initial plan. But now we are at the stage to think about accelerating these activities of the field experiments, probably within a year or half-year period. And this is a structure of the whole program. We have 4 projects, and each project will have presentation in this symposium on their progress. And total, about 300 researchers participated in this program. So we make really a lot of efforts to push forward. So this is a summary. So our Moonshot Goal8 aims to realize a society safe from the threat of extreme winds and rains by controlling and modifying the weather by 2050. And simulation studies so far suggest that human power possibly change extreme weather. So we are very happy to see that this potential. So we are now accelerating the research for small-scale field experiments that we, well, at the beginning we planned in 2030s, but we are now ready to start doing something with, of course, these ethical, legal, and social issues and RRI carefully considered. This is essential if we design the field experiments. And this is a picture that we aim at. So once we predict some disastrous situations, we could make the agreement and to put something like these tools in field to modify the weather like this, so that people are happy with that disaster. So that's the dream that we have. Thank you very much for your attention.